What if Bakugo Katsuki had a sister? How would that change the story? Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. Sorry for not posting yesterday. I was busy with something personal. But today I'm doing a what if video and it's called What If Bakugo Katsuki Had a Sister? So, let's get right into this because I'm really excited. 4 years after Bakugo is born, he's 4 years old, and this is just before him and Izuku, or Deku as we know him currently, but for now we're just gonna call him Izuku because he's not a hero yet. So this is also before they stop being friends completely. Before Katsuki and Izuku stop being friends completely. Katsuki's sister, Katsuki's little sister would be born, and his parents would name her Akari. So Akari is born 4 years after Bakugo, after Katsuki. So there's a 4-year difference between them. He's 4 years old and she's born. Also before Katsuki and Izuku even stopped being friends. So she would right off the bat be quite clever, and she wouldn't be like normal children or normal babe, like a normal baby. So she would be able to use her quirk early, with of course not being able to control it. At 2 weeks old she'd be able to use her quirk, but she'd already be sitting up or crawling or walking by that time. She is quite strong. She'd have brown hair, half brown, half blonde, and then 2 different color eyes. But what would be weird about her eyes is her father having brown eyes and her mother having red eyes. She would have completely different colored eyes. Now, unlike her brother, she wouldn't have ruby red eyes. She would have gorgeous forest green eyes with a mixture of aqua blue. So imagine her eye color being forest green mixed with aqua blue. Just imagine the green and blue eyes mixed together. Green and blue mixed together, making a gorgeous forest green or aqua blue color. So her eyes would be absolutely amazing. Anyway, continue. Her quirk would be almost like Bakugo's, but her quirk would be like Todoroki's, half and half. She would have her mother's quirk, which is glycerin. Her mother sweats glycerin, which is crazy if you think about it this way. Her skin stays moist all the time and everything. But like Midnight, she'd also have the ability to entrance her opponents into making her being absolutely beautiful. Her opponents would fall for her male opponents. Now, also, this is only a thing. This is only a what if video. None of this is canon. So, also, let's just go with this and say Izuku Midoriya has a brother, Ataru. So, as she gets older, by the time By the time Akari is a year old, she knows how to control her quirk, she knows how to walk, she knows how to talk. She can do anything a normal child can. Well, except she's a year old. And because of her being able to walk and talk so early, she stopped her brother from bullying Midoriya, from bullying Izuku, meaning Katsuki and Izuku would still be friends. Well, kind of. So years later, her brother has entered UA, and now it's her turn, since her brother is now in class 4A. Since her brother is now graduated from UA, it's her turn to go. Because there's 4 years between them, he can't be at the same school because he'd be graduated by then, if it's like high school or something. But anyway, continuing on. It's now her first year at UA, and Izuku, or now known as Deku, and her brother, also, I hate, I don't hate Bakugo, I just hate, his now canon hero name, which is not Ground Zero. It is, sadly, Dynamite. I am not a fan. I'd rather Horikoshi stick to Ground Zero, but anyway, it's just my opinion. So I'm just going to say that Katsuki's hero name is Ground Zero. I am not calling him Dynamite. But anyway, her brother goes on to become a pro hero. In the meantime, she joins UA. She is in class 1A, having Mr. Aizawa as her teacher. Aizawa would know what her name is. Well, Aizawa would know who she is immediately as he sees her. Then the way she walks into class. Since she's a moody teenager, since she's kind of like her brother and she would explode your ass. She can also explode things. So yeah, let's just go with that. She can sweat glycerin, hypnotize her opponents to make herself look attractive to them, blah blah blah. She can explode. She can also use explosions. So, and also, all throughout school, no one would dare hurt her because of who her brother is. Now, Aizawa would have a teacher's assistant because of him being a sleepy person. Let's just put it that way. I can't think of a nickname that we have for Aizawa, like a sleeping bean or kitty or something like that. But anyway, well, when Aizawa wants to take naps, his assistant takes over the class. That assistant being Haruto Midoriya. And Aizawa's teacher's assistant would be none other than Haruto Midoriya, who would have a fire quirk, like his father, and because of that, Haruto has the hero name Blaze. Don't ask why. just go with it. Because he can set things on fire. So, anyway. Haruto only being 6 years older than Akari and 2 years older than Deku. Haruto being 6 years older than Akari, he's not much older, just by 6 years. So he'd continue teaching the class one day after Aizawa falls asleep after a particular rough day. So coming in after lunch, Aizawa would be asleep. Then for the rest of this day, Haruto would take over. And unknown to Akari, she would mindlessly stare at Haruto. No, it's wrong. Just go with it. Mindlessly staring at Haruto, she doesn't notice. She doesn't even realize what he's teaching or what's going on until Blaze interrupts her thoughts. So anyway, he asks her a question and she just randomly give an answer since she didn't pay attention. So anyway, after that, she started sketching in one of her books. And what she was sketching just so happens to be a heart, and inside the heart just so happened to be a picture that she had sketched of Haruto on the inside of the heart. Haruto smiling at her. She'd take some of her color pencils and she'd color in his white hair that fades into green. Okay, just go with it. I don't know what color Deku's dad's hair is or his eyes. Some people say it's white. His hair is white with red eyes. So just go with the white hair. White hair that fades into green with cool green eyes. Cool light green eyes with a hint of blue. No. You know what? Never mind. Let's just go for like a bluish red color. So purple kind of. She'd sketch a picture of him until he interrupts again. Miss Bakugo, what are you doing? Are you even paying attention? He'd say. And her reply would be, sorry, Sensei. Sorry. Sorry, Sensei. I was just taking notes. So it would be your excuse. But the truth is, she was actually sketching a picture of him. His reply would be, oh, well, then let me see. So she'd turn over to a random page which had notes from a previous lesson, but about the same thing. About the same subject, but from a previous lesson. So he'd walk over to her without noticing that she had turned the page. She'd give him the notebook and he'd see the notes. So he doesn't think anything of it. Alright. Okay, that's it. I know this is like confusing and everything, and it took quite a while because I didn't exactly plan this. This is just last minute. So anyway, bye guys!